Alright guys,
Is he reading
BLM
this
here.
off something?
Back from war. AC3, continue on.
There's no paper, but yeah, I don't.
Fuck off.
A lot of Big Brother fans do not
We are towards the end of
realize
Sequence
that
4,
we're
so
not
should be
allowed
able to wrap that up.
pencils, paper.
We start
We
Sequence
can't
5.
have any access to any news, anything.
It does sound like he's reading. Did you know?
Voice too. I don't know if we ever see Memphis with a whole lot of energy. He's kind of just.
Well, it's mostly just like, did you know that Big Brother people don't have access to pens and paper? Like, yeah, it's like Christopher Walken.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Sarah, tell me, what is the format of Mornings with Memphis? It's mostly, that was one of them where they were guessing news headlines, and they cut the feeds for that, by the way.
So dumb.
Is the show every day Memphis is interviews Kaser, or is Kaser the co-host? It's mostly just a conversation. It's loosely formatted. Like, that was the more...
Together, they're the only ones up. Like, they
Memphis is always up first, he's always first into bed, and then Kaser is usually up there. David is usually hovering around, but, you know, he's not exactly a conversationalist, so, you know, Kaser and Memphis will sit down in the nomination chairs and just Sharif, do you think that Mornings with Memphis could be the latest Big Brother podcast to hit the scene?
Cancel it. I'm not gonna miss Morning with Memphis. I don't need to hear him talk. I'll miss Morning with Kaser.
Yeah.
That's what I'll miss.
Yeah, the only thing positive about Kaser being evicted on Thursday is that he's going to be out here with all of us, and he's going to see all the love and respect that we've given him. Like, maybe he forgot how much, America loves him.
He sucks at the game, but yeah,
I'll
outside that.
6, but,
No, he did not forget, because that he told us during the veto competition, I'm doing this for America, and I'm doing this for BB Nation. Yeah.
where was that? Like, where
He's
did
hungry
that
for
come from?
one last power, America's vote. Don't forget about that. About the DR specifically. He's either really good in the DR when they're just letting him be himself, or it's like, oh no, they're trapped.
So many
into
cringe
something.
moments,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Greetings,
I'm a Kaser
Guardian.
Fan, but, it wasn't good. Every time I listen to him in the DR, I'm like,
Are
please
you
hush. Like,
a spirit?
Sorry.
You
It's
may
not
think
his
of me
fault.
as
I
such.
I know.
I think it's
Where am
entirely
I?
the fault of them
You
being
are
in
where you
line.
were
Kaser's
before.
just so good at
If you
speaking
mean to
himself
ask
that
what
they
it is
should
you
be
now
doing
see, it is known as the
Out of
Nexus.
character when he's like, I'm
From
doing
here,
this.
probabilities are
America,
calculated so that the proper
Nation.
path may be chosen.
What path?
Yours.
Ah, fuck. I'm not doing that. That's including that.
Vito, so I was like, no, you're not. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it didn't even sound like Kaser.
It didn't.
Like,
It was so out of character for him.
yeah.
Try to get people pumped up.
Okay.
Follow
Alright.
me.
So, speaking of trying to get people...
But even the textures on the fucking
that-
eagle are
I don't
shit.
know if any of you walk out of the room during the commercials, come back in when the show is on.
Oh, yeah, the
You
Big Brother
watch
Love
the
Island commercial.
commercials during
What have you
Big
done to
Brother
me?
22?
Selected a form familiar to your culture.
Yes,
It is
yes, I
designed
am.
to ease
Yes, I am.
navigation.
Because this was really odd. So, and I'll say good job by CBS.
We
because
have
it's like,
waited
the show's back
millennia
on,
for your
but yeah,
arrival.
Janelle is back in the house.
You,
Okay. So we
who will
cut
bring to him the last
a
piece,
conversation
that he
from
may open the
live
door.
feed,
I
not
do
an
not
episode
understand.
Of the
Nor
house
need
guest,
you. I sense
typing
my
up
words caused pain.
Love Island.
But such was
if you
not my
missed this or
intention.
You watched it on
You are
Alexa.
important,
What?
child.
Here is
Okay.
that
In
commercial.
more ways than you will ever know.
Love Island people in
As
here.
you see, forces gather
Okay,
in
so that
secret,
is Matt
preparing
Hoffman.
to
No, not
seize
that Matt
control of the
Hoffman. The
land.
narrator of
If they succeed,
Love Island.
the
That
sanctuary
was
will
our
be
Matt
breached.
Hoffman.
Hey!
Enzo! Okay, alright. Julie and I becoming besties?
I like that show, man. That show's on CBS.
What? Okay, so Tyler
Yours is
likes the
special
show.
lineage.
Cody doesn't know the show's on
Past.
CBS. So
Present.
everything
Future.
seems on brand so far.
Many are
Okay?
connected to you.
Yes, it's amazing.
Many
It's
will
like every
change
night of
the
the
world.
Let me pause
Who
that
will
one.
change the
Every
world.
night of
so too shall you.
I mean, technically,
I
I guess
called you
after
here
tonight,
that you
it'll be on
might
every
know
night
your
of the week.
duty.
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
was
I
gonna
don't
say it
know.
You
hasn't
must
been every night of
protect
the week. Like, it
sanctuary
appeared
from
like a
those
week
who
and a half
would
ago,
undo
and like, it has
our
not been on every
What
night.
sanctuary?
We don't have a commercial that's on every
What
night of the
work?
week on a night that it's not on.
Yeah.
2-hour Tough and Tales finale but definitely it'll be on the rest of
Maintaining
the
your
night.
current force will result in a negative outcome.
Okay, all right.
Premature
Tyler
access
watches
will
every
destabilize
episode
the
of
region.
Love Island.
Your
Aaron, we're
village
buying
and
them.
its people will be destroyed.
Yeah, 100%
I'm
this
gonna
is
buy it.
scripted.
He's a lovesick puppy.
It is a schmoopy show.
Yeah.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Was this a natural conversation that they had?
I guess so.
No,
I
come
didn't
on.
see it.
What am I to
I didn't
do?
see it on the feed either.
You will
They
learn of a
prompted
man
us to
who will
talk about
provide
it.
additional
Maybe.
training. Keep this symbol.
Yeah, so maybe Tyler's a company man.
No doubt
and
he has
knows
many
to say
questions.
that, he knew what
Time
was
will
going
see
on
that
there,
answer.
so did Janelle.
For now,
But
you
Taryn,
must
how did
follow.
we not get a
Believe
Love
it,
Island promo
later.
and not get the scene of David talking about how he wishes, instead of the Big Brother house, he had been cast for Love Island?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a little too disparaging for the show that people are currently watching. Like, I didn't even want to be here.
I didn't want to
was
be
training
here.
for Love Island.
God. Yeah.
Should CBS have been doing this all along? Should we have gotten commercials of the Big Brother house guest talking about, hey, you guys watch that show Tough as Nails, yo?
It was so strange because I thought the episode had come back. And we were back in it, and then all of a sudden I'm hearing the Love Island voice, and I'm like, what's going on? It was too jarring for me. I was not a fan.
Yeah, I didn't even see it. I'm glad you brought it up because I totally blew past it and just now heard about it.
By the way, that someday, Tyler, if you're listening, that check out our Love Island wrap-up show. Janelle, the Love Island fan, you can watch the show. Check out our
Brent.
Love Island wrap-up, yeah. Yes. It's going to to be with, but Janelle has no issue with Friends. She can
Janelle has no
listen
riff. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of The Ordinary. I just
Yeah.
got The Ordinary was talking about that Janie's been using for the rest of her life. You know.
Check out our
Love
Love
it.
Island wrap-up show. Okay, Scott, do we have questions from tonight? Otherwise, we can go ahead and skip to our live feeds if questions are not ready to
Just to
go.
be clear, there's two people that have an issue with me. Tyler and JC. That's the only two people that ever had an issue with me.
There's
Two
way more
people.
than
Person on this season that has an issue with you, Brent.
Yeah, way more than two.
Fake news.
Check our text conversation. Way more. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take some questions from our listeners on Twitter. Okay. This is from Big Brother Addict. Was it just me, or did that evil laughter in the veto competition sound like Dr. Will? Sharifa, you said you enjoyed Memphis in hosting in the competition. Was that Memphis' evil laugh, or is that a different evil laugh?
Listen, I thought it was Memphis, but I'm always down for a conspiracy theory.
I mean, it was the Puppet Master competition, right? Like,
It was Raven.
Asegoja kakweni takuri huodeni. Jahassa
Alright,
viikot.
this is from James. So this
On
comp was
se
Puppets on a
todella
String.
hoitasessa
Who's the real Puppet Master in this house, I guess, besides Raven.
Tuo
Aaron,
nuorta
I just see on the
kakkonen
wall.
karihuajoudun
I just see on the
yksittu.
wall that they have like,
Ne
it does say like in spray paint Puppet Master. Is there a person that's a Big Brother contestant? I can't make out who it is.
it's an outline. It's just I think they're intentionally keeping it vague. Yeah, so that's, because I
That
think
was
a lot of
Will, though.
people would expect, like, oh,
Master.
Dr. Will, but the true Puppet Master
Seriassa
move is
doga,
to just make
nektsiket
an outline
kaanis
so that
sozi
people think it's
ezos are
Dr. Will,
hard.
but really,
Vasse zakkane
Yeah,
karihuajoudun
Danny
yksittu.
obviously thought it was her.
Sakkahatsori.
Yeah, of course I know that Danny has been in a little bit of hot water as you saw in the episode because she outed this thing to Tyler, and Tyler's been after her a little bit. Hearing her talk about the fact that she's actually the Puppet Master, I was like, I can't wait to see that rewound
There you go.
again next week.
Before tonight, I would have said Enzo and Cody. I thought the way that they were navigating the house, they were pulling a lot of strings. But after we saw in the episode with Danny, I'm not so sure if that's going to be true anymore.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take another
Leaving home was
question.
harder
This
than I
one is
thought.
from Parvati.
I expected the journey
I thought it
would
was
fill
common
me with a
knowledge
sort of
that
pride,
Nicole knew
a sense
about
of
the Select
accomplishment.
Six. Someday,
But whatever it was
it's
that
not
carried
added
me
up.
away from
Yeah.
home soon fled,
So Parvati,
replaced by questions,
Yes, Danny was also
and no
under the
small
impression
amount of
as
doubt.
Taylor,
Had I been too
Trevor,
hasty?
Taryn,
Had I made a
points
I can
mistake?
skip all this, right?
As he
The
points
others in the
out
village,
that,
they thought this was
she
something
knew
I
about the
wanted,
Split 6-6,
something
but,
I
she
chose
did
to
not.
do.
And I
But
actually
it
did
never
know
felt that way to me.
and I knew it right when it happened
No.
too. That was an
It
error
was
on
not
her
a
part.
choice.
And
It
Danny
was an
accidentally outed
obligation.
something in front of Tyler
Because
that
if
she was
not me,
supposed to. Like,
then
she was not
who?
supposed to reveal that.
I love Tyler's reaction too.
Yeah, we
like,
can fast travel.
like, he didn't-
Through this, I think we're gonna miss out on the Achilles thing, where we see Achilles like riding into the homestead. But
He's like, am I supposed to be like, I don't want to have to lie to her, because I just lied to her and acted like I didn't know what she was talking about. And then Nicole got to see that, so now like Nicole saw me lie. Like that's what he was so mad about.
I have a question because I'm not entirely sure. I thought that the only people from the alliance with Memphis, Nicole, and Christmas who knew about Slick Six were Cody and Danny. Did Enzo also know?
Get out of the way!
oh no, this is still here.
Yes,
Right, but did he know that Nicole knew?
Did he know that? No, he did not know that Nicole knew.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, like
Who the fuck are those?
Yes.
Oh, wait, they're chasing
so
after.
I mean, it's hard to keep
Okay.
track. To be totally fair, like I lose track
That's
at
just
times
different
as
than
well,
that
and Taryn does a better job than me. But like overall, she did a bad job because it made Tyler feel like he looked like a dummy in front of Danny and Nicole in a room with other people in it, and other people got to see him lie. Like Enzo or Cody was in the room too, and they got to see him lie. Like because Nicole was standing there or sitting there listening to him, and he was acting like he didn't know what she was talking about. Like, I'm eating. What are you talking about? But in reality, like he did know what she was talking about. He was just trying to cover for her, and he didn't like the fact that he was outed as sneaky and
Shit.
lying.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it also exposes that Danny is closer to Franzel than she is
Which
with.
we been knew, yeah. I mean, like
Yeah.
I said, and I take your point on that, but like it did help. It did not help her in the house in terms of the fact that other people might have seen Danny as being close to Cody, Tyler, or Danny might think that she's close to Tyler, but in reality, like it really made her and Nicole look like a much
fuck off.
stronger twosome than anybody.
Fuck off, game. Thank you.
100%.
I would have loved to see more of this because this happened when the feeds were down, and so I have no idea what that conversation was like between Tyler and Nicole after he's like. So I think she just slipped up a bit.
That was like it reminded me of Celebrity Big Brother when Tamar Braxton was in the room and then like they screwed up and then she was like, no, y'all screwed up. Like come on, and they're like, what? I didn't screw up. What are you talking about? Like.
We need a name for our final two. Yeah, Busted.com.
Exactly. Great moment. Oh my god. Such good times.
Okay. Dean Jarrett.
Fuck.
Do you think there are any
Really?
positive benefits
Okay, come
to
on.
Christmas? I think we talked through a lot of the pros and cons.
No, because the bad is so bad. You could go home. That's the bad.
I think we had a lengthy discussion on this already.
With powers floating around. Anyway.
Damn it, Reed wants to know, when's the last time that a pawn went
Damn
home?
it, Reed.
Is pawns go home really a thing anymore? Taryn, this is interesting. Have we seen the pawn go home recently?
I guess Big Brother 20 would
Yeah,
be
20 is less
That's
than
what
I
I
can
thought
figure
too.
out.
I thought of Rachel
Last-
Swindler.
Mm-hmm.
She thought she was the pawn.
I was thinking of
Yeah,
Steve,
and
too.
like,
But it was the house where Tyler was in.
Yes.
So we almost saw it happen to Kat last season.
Yeah,
it
that's
technically happened to Cliff the first time
What?
he was evicted. And so like a little bit, but really,
I was told you
it's
could
not-
train me.
You have to go back to Big Brother 20 when level 6 was flipping the Faute votes every single time they put two people up. And
I'm not
but even then
leaving.
before that, like it's not that often that the pawn goes home, especially if you are in the majority alliance. If you're in the minority alliance and you put up two people, then the pawn will always go home, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's what you need to be worried about.
Okay. I think another question. This one is from Colleen Van Dusky. Do you think that they switched to Plant HOH and veto comps this week? If so, why? We thought we'd get an endurance comp last Thursday, but we got it for the veto instead. And we got roll the ball comp, which is similar to run the back and forth 100 times
I need a
veto for
place to
HOH.
No.
Okay. Conspiracy theory,
no.
guys.
Conspiracy theory.
I mean, look, I'm Mr. Conspiracy Theory, but I just don't think this is true. Like, they have like a finite amount of people working in the backyard inside the Big Brother bubble as far as their actual help goes. basically just switched the competition on a dime to.
It's such a shame that the
anybody.
cutscenes are so
Like,
fucked.
I think they were.
Because I feel like everything else about this
Like,
remaster is so much better than the
We'll
original.
And look, it's dangerous to talk about real conspiracy theories, but we're just talking
We'll
Big
have fun.
Brother.
Yes.
Okay, if Big Brother is like, hey, we gotta save Kaser this week, is it better to have the HOH what it was that he probably has a better chance of versus the veto being something that he is probably gonna struggle with?
Definitely gonna struggle.
Yeah.
There's
What do
no way.
you think? If you were trying to set this up.
If my goal is specifically to save Kaser, I'm giving him the veto as the competition he has a better shot at, because in the veto he already has better odds. He's 1 in 6 people. So if I give him even better odds by giving him the competition he's going to be better at, then there's a much higher likelihood that he's going to win the competition and be safe for the week.
There must be another way
I
in.
don't normally get into these
Ian's
Big
making
Brother
himself look like
conspiracy
a
theories. I will
fucking
say
idiot
though,
right now.
I did think it was
He's saying right now, I think people here are not intelligent. I'm really appalled by how lackluster the play has been. I'll give Cody and Nicole credit. It was a good idea, but you gotta understand, I played her dance. It's like, that's not gonna slip by. It's like, what are you doing?
I mean, it would be.
Oh my god,
very
it's so
weird,
fucking bad.
Like, I think coincidence to be like, oh, wait a minute, we can swap these, and then we can do it in like 2 heats of 6, and then a third one. Like,
Please,
but
all
like
I
said,
ask is a moment of your time.
Not that it would surprise me that they made a wrong decision and trying to rig the game, because they make wrong decisions all the time. But it
Why
would
is
be
the
a bad
lighting
decision
so
even in the
fucked?
first
Like,
place.
it's like I feel like the lighting's
odds are
even
better to
worse
save Kaser
now
by giving him this
than it was on the
specific
original,
What
my
do you
original
think, Sheree,
playthrough.
bro?
I think if this was Gregory, I don't think we would have seen these codes for. I don't think that would have
Yeah,
been the veto
one of them
comp
would
for
have been
Kaser.
an option anyway. Like, one that Kaser auto loses, like, yeah.
I'm coming up!
They know he's not winning the puppet string match. Like his body
Thank
type. Yeah, they know. They knew
Yeah.
Kaser was set in the water with that.
Yeah, that's what the thing. They needed to open up another
What
room.
to
What
talk
happened to the
about,
rooms? They said they had rooms, Rob. I needed a room, Rob. That's what I needed.
Listen, I wasn't above Gregory. Please rig the veto
Just hear
comp.
me out. What are you so afraid of?
But that didn't happen.
Right? It didn't happen.
Afraid?
Alright,
You think I'm afraid of
this is from
anything?
Ian,
Least
who
of all,
says,
such
yo,
important
what's
little
the
scab
point of
like
going
you?
after Kaser? Sure, he's coming after them. He's not a very effective Big Brother player coming after like 8 people, yo. I know we talked about this at the top of the show.
So here's the thing.
How close he got to winning HOH?
Yeah, exactly.
Save
He got
this
close to winning
course.
HOH,
The only
and you
thing
saw
you're
what, like,
gonna
you saw,
be
like,
is
Bailey in the HOH room talking about the fact, like, well, I know where I'm at in the game. The majority alliance has other people snowed. Kaser is not snowed. So even though he's not very effective at what he does, if he happened to get HOH, he would cause all hell to break loose. Whereas from their point of view,
I will not
somebody
leave.
like
Do you hear
Bailey,
me?
they would have
I'm
more
never
control.
leaving.
I'm never
that's
leaving.
Why Kaser is the appropriate target, and it pains me to say that.
Fuck
The,
me, man.
the people that it benefits to take.
Why does it feel like I know the
Kaser
lines of
out,
this
and
game
completely
more than
agree,
I do
are
fucking
Cody,
Death
Nicole,
Trolls, you know?
Danny, and Tyler, and because of their relationships with the rest of the house, are able to get them in line. And it's unfortunate because the rest of the house it benefits them to keep Kaser.
Okay, let me ask this question. We have heard about Janelle, who wants to play Survivor. I wonder, would Kaser be a lot better suited for Survivor than Big Brother?
I really think he would be. Because Survivor is
Yeah.
much more of an even numbers
That's
game,
what you said last
and
time,
think
and I
that it
wound
would
up with a
benefit
dead
from
horse and a
his-
dark
he's very
eye.
quick.
Who are
He's
you?
very team-oriented, too.
Yeah, I think he would build the team. I think that he could easily make the merge. I think that he would probably be taken out mid-merge.
To be on Survivor, though, I feel like he's a
Yeah, but the thing
savage
about Kaser
esque
and
figure.
like again,
Can't
no
say
team,
we
he's
didn't
not
warn ya.
great sometimes at communicating with people, and the problems that were evident in the Big Brother house as far as like getting people to bond with him. I don't think those would necessarily be papered over in a Survivor season.
Let me be biased in my love for Kaser.
All right,
Don't call me out on it.
All right. I got this from here too. Like, let me live in my moment.
Okay, Phase In says, should Kaser have just stuck to his BB6 and BB7 strategy and targeted people in the middle?
He needed a strategy. Taryn pointed it out correctly that he didn't have a strategy. He was just like, oh, I'll target the people in the middle. No, I'll target the people in power. Like he doesn't. You gotta pick one path and stick to it. If you go down the middle of the path, you gotta step in the.
No.
I think he was throwing stuff at the wall trying to see if anything.
Yeah, I mean, something had to have gotten some traction for him to stick with it. Where it's like, oh, well, this isn't working. Now let's try something else.
Why are you here?
Well, we talked about
What
this
do
on
you
the
want?
roundtable that I feel like after 3
Let's
weeks
ask
of
the
trying the
boss
same
man.
thing of like fight the power, I feel like when Janelle leaves, that's the time
You working for
to
the
do a
old man,
full
then?
pivot
That it?
and approach Tyler or Cody.
Maybe
Tyler's the
this
one that might
will
have
get you
worked.
talking.
And just like lay everything out and be like, clearly I suck at this game. I don't have Janelle to tell me what to do anymore. She was the one telling me all of these
Thank you.
things, and I got riled up about it. And I know I've been an idiot, but like I'm directionless now. I have nowhere to go. Please just tell me what to do. Players who like to control the game love players that ask them to tell them what to do. So I feel like if he had gone full Kevin, full passive, like I'll do whatever you want, he might have had a chance this week.
Yeah, but instead he was like, I gotta win this HOH competition. I gotta win it.
Well, we've seen this with
Better pass
Kaiser
it.
time and time again
Fuck
over
off.
his reappearances that like he wants to be the leader. I mean, he was the person who united the minority against the friendship. Like he wants to be the person who's calling the shots, and I think he needed an ego check here, and it just unfortunately didn't happen.
Okay, let's do one more question. We'll talk about the live feeds, okay? This is from
Sorry.
Cali Girl. Do you
Not your
believe
fault.
that David honestly thinks
This
winning
whole
a cup
place is
is
ready
repairs
to
Hardenpool
come
social
down.
game with these more seasoned
Goddamn
players?
miracle it hasn't already.
He probably believes it.
Anyway,
It's not
who
gonna
are
work.
you?
Probably
My
believes
name is
it.
Rado
Scott, give me
Hagedorn.
one more question.
I think it's a good idea. I
Well,
think that winning
I'm not even going
competitions
to try
gives
and
you
pronounce
social capital
that.
in the game.
Yeah.
We
Just
saw
people
Tell me
have
why
to talk
you're
with
here.
you. Yeah.
we're seeing it happen with Kevin. So I do think
I
it's
was
a good
told to
idea.
seek this symbol.
Yeah, okay. All right. Then Jared
Do you
says, any
even know
chance
what that
this flips
symbol
on Christmas?
represents?
I feel Kaser's
Or
only
what it
move
is you're
left is
asking
to appeal
for?
to Tyler. He's turning on his
No.
alliance and potentially being a
Yet,
number for him
here you are.
against Danny,
The Spirit
Nicole,
said
Cody,
that I am
and Memphis. Okay,
spirits
look,
of
we're not
yours
talking spoilers
have
yet,
been
but
harassing
it's
the
bleak.
assassins for
I was
centuries.
trying to think about
Ever
this
since
today.
Ezio
What would
uncorked the
have to
bottle.
happen for
But
the
you
vote
don't even
to
know what
flip
an
on
assassin
Christmas?
is, do you?
Can anyone come up with a scenario that
Well,
could
that's
unfold
settled in then.
in
I've got a
these
story to
next
tell.
24
and
hours?
It's gonna take a while to get
I
it
think
all
it's like,
out.
you know that POV challenge where you drop a ball into a slot and it has to like hit a bunch of bumpers and you're trying to get it into this one slot? I think there's like a 1 in like 1,000 chance, and if he can get the right one, because I do
And
think
so,
that there are,
this is
he
why
needs
the
6 votes to
assassins
say.
have
I think that there is a
dedicated
possibility
themselves
if
to the
he's
pursuit of
having
the
the right
Templars.
conversations with the right people and
Because
getting them
if they
together,
succeed,
that he could potentially
the
get
spirit's
those 6 votes. I
visions
just don't think that
will
Kaser
become
has
reality.
the skill
Then
or
I
the
will
act
stop
in
them.
terms of his
I
strategic
have
and
no
social
doubt you'll
execution
Here's
to
the
make that
problem.
happen.
I can get him to 5, and that's
Come on.
that's a stretch.
I've
Like Bay
something to show
Day,
you.
Kevin, David, and Ian. But I can't find a 6th vote for him.
It
wasn't
really
a
comes.
joke when I said this
I
place
think
was
it would
coming
have to come
apart.
down to either Tyler or Memphis and what his
Why
pick
don't
is.
you repair it?
Yeah.
And it's pretty much impossible. But
What's
I
the
do think
point?
maybe more so with Tyler
Besides,
that
I
there
don't
could
have
be a way. I
materials
just
for
think
the
that
job.
Kaser needs to have the right conversation, and I don't see that happening.
So by
What
then.
if
just think it's too
Christmas?
late.
Yeah. What if Christmas tells Nicole Franzel she loves Janelle?
Look at me.
Could
I think
Nicole?
I think I can
It's
just
definitely
march
possible. I
into
think
some
Nicole was
store,
talking about
purse full
Janelle
of
earlier
pounds
today
and go
too, so
shopping.
like she can't keep her name out of her mouth.
Yes.
Here's how it could happen.
Why
if
not?
I'm
Christmas
so naive.
decided she wanted to go after Tyler and told pretty much anybody about it, and then Tyler heard about it,
This
then
way.
Tyler would flip the votes and save Kaser probably.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But that's not
So
gonna happen.
bleak. It's bleak for Kaser.
I still think there's a little slot. Maybe I'm just trying to keep hope alive right now, but there's a little slot
Okay.
over in the
All right.
corner.
Well, let's talk about it in more depth as we incorporate everything happening from the live feeds. If you are leaving us now, we'll be back after the Thursday night episode to talk about our eviction, potentially an HOH competition. But are we thinking endurance tomorrow night finally?
I don't
Or we
think
said
you can
endurance
just come in
HOH.
here,
Or
throw
Vito.
those
Saw the
on,
endurance
and
speedo,
call
so yeah,
yourself
it
an
might not
assassin.
I did
I
not.
feel like it might be questions.
I would never
It
presume
seems like the right
You're
order.
right.
They're speculating
I
a quiz
know
competition
they have
where
certain
they
allure.
go head to head. They win in a match and then they pick 2 people to face off against each other, which would be a very good,
Very well.
good time.
Great week for knockout.
I'll train you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Then we'll
So,
know if you've the
let's talk
right
spoilers.
to wear those robes.
The Office of Civil
Thank
Defense
you.
has issued the following message. This
Name's
is
Akira.
warning.
A spoiler.
Warning means that an actual
Spoiler.
against this country has been detected, and that protective action should be taken.
I keep hoping I'm gonna spot the taboo buzzer in my peripheral vision somewhere in here.
Come on then.
Somebody send him a buzzer.
We've work to do.
No, it's gotta be around here somewhere.
There's
People
no
are
way.
like, but it's like,
Kids have hidden it
like
somewhere.
sending me a screenshot. Like, but isn't it on your, behind your shoulder over there? Like, yeah, but that's not the buzzer.
Oh yeah, it looks like it. I see what they're
That's
saying.
a buzzer.
Yeah.
That's a buzzer.
Yeah.
It's not,
You
that is not
and
the
all
buzzer right here. Okay?
Living in the dirt.
People are like, I can see it behind you.
Oblivious to the true ways
All
of
right.
the world.
Alright, Taryn, anything of note
What do the
from
Templars
today?
want?
From
What they've
today,
always
not
wanted.
particularly.
Control.
They
see an
it's still
opportunity in the
Kaser going
colonies.
home.
A chance
I
for
don't
new
dance
beginnings,
for the spoiler music
unfettered by the
when it's bad
chaos of the
news, like
past.
Kaser's going home.
This
So,
is why they back the British.
Yes,
Here
it's
they have a
bad, it's
chance
bad
to
news,
illustrate
it's
the
bad
merits
stuff,
of their beliefs.
But
A
basically,
people
the
in
feeds were down
service
for
to
a
the
very long time. There was
principles
another
of
wall yell
order
attempt.
and structure.
I
So
have
we missed
seen
a
what
lot,
is to
but
come
it
if they
seems
succeed.
like the Slick Six
They have
got
to
together
die, don't
without
they?
Danny to discuss how they're going after Danny.
All of
So I
them.
saw a theory, and I don't know if this was
Even my
confirmed or
father.
not, that the reason why the feeds have been down so much was
Especially
because
your
that this
father.
was 1
He's
month
the one
in,
holding the
there
whole
was a
thing
crew
together.
change. Is that possible?
That came from a person that continues to claim that they have information on Twitter, but they have consistently been proven wrong.
Okay, alright.
Fake news.
Fake news, okay.
I mean,
Sorry
it
about
could
that,
be-
everybody.
It could be true.
Fake
but
news.
No reason to believe the person, as far as I'm aware.
Okay. Alright. So
So I
all right,
trained in
what's
running,
what's
in
something
climbing,
interesting
in
that we should
fighting,
be watching heading into
in
tomorrow?
falling,
We should be
and for
watching
every
to
lesson
see,
that concerned the
Karen, go ahead.
body,
Sorry.
there were two that
So-
concerned the mind.
Tyler,
Language,
Dave,
philosophy,
Bay,
logic,
Enzo,
the
they're
arts.
all gunning for
Achilles
Danny.
taught most
The
of them
lighting is so
assassins and
fucked
Templars.
in this
Their
remaster.
structures,
Something is
origins,
afoot.
and purpose.
game is afoot.
Centuries of history
Yes.
condensed into
And
a few
Tarzan.
short days.
He is very
I told him of the
concerned
men
about
who
Day
had burned
and
my
Bay
village,
because
of
they
Charles
told
Lee,
Christmas
and
that
my
they had
promise to
information
him.
to tell her
Achilles
after the
explained that
HOH
Lee and his
competition.
followers were
And
Templars,
she was having a
and that they were
conversation
led by
with
none
Bailey
other than
when
my
Bailey
own
wouldn't reveal
father.
her targets, and all of a sudden she
If
doesn't
I was
want to go
to
after Memphis
s-
anymore, and Danny is like, something is off here. I think they're planning on flipping on us. And
Good
she's
morning.
bringing this to Cody. She ends
To you
up
as
bringing
well.
it to Tyler, who then went to Dan Bay like,
You taking a
Danny's
trip?
on to us. You
I've
need to tell her
decided
that
to
you're
do
going
something
after
about the
Memphis.
house. And
And
you're
so
going to help
Danny
me.
is very concerned.
Get
There's
it?
a lot of combustible energy in this house, and a few different HOHs could really blow things up. On top of all of it, you've got Ian running around, now very anti-Cody thanks to the Wall Yeller, and he wants to make a move on Cody, which would be all over, which would really, do potentially something, potentially shut everything down. We don't know. So there's a lot of things that could come next week.
Okay. Alright. Sharifa, I know you wanted to talk about the live feeds. Which part of this did you want to get into?
I want to talk about what they left out of the episode in between the Kevin winning veto and Christmas getting nominated. Because I understand that they probably don't want the Wall Yeller on the feeds, and because they don't want to inspire
I think this
people
would be
to
on
do
tomorrow's
so.
episode.
But give that Wall Yeller MVP. I know there's a lot of purists.
Because they're not gonna have anything.
I know there's a lot of purists who are going to be mad at me, but it
This
must
place
be
is
said,
incredible.
That person took a
The people,
match,
the
threw it
sounds
into
and
the house,
smells.
and it lit it on
I
fire.
could walk these
And the
streets for
feeds have
days
been
and know not
so
even half its
entertaining
wonders.
since. And
I
players
thought
like
the
Ian
same as
claimed that they
you
were
upon a
already
time.
onto certain
These
patterns
days, I
beforehand.
much
All I
prefer the
know
quiet of
is
the
that person took
countryside.
gasoline.
But there is so
Everything
much
got
life
really
here.
exciting because now
So
a bunch
many
of games are being
opportunities.
exposed, and I do feel really sorry for
For a
Cody
few, my
and
boy.
for Nicole.
For a few.
Because it's unfortunate when your game is exposed outside of your control. But it made a game a lot more exciting. And
But it's
after
inaccurate,
Wall Yeller,
also.
We're seeing people are really on
Like-
Danny's game. They're ready to turn on her. They're seeing
But again,
how
that had
Cody's
nothing to
doing,
do with
seeing
the.
how Cody's
I mean, yeah, the wall
To
yellow.
buy the
had nothing to
items
do
on
with it.
this
and it
list.
just
Tell
allowed
them where the
that really
carriage
strong
is,
alliance
and
that
they'll see
comprised
that it's
essentially
loaded.
all the white players in
Understood?
the house to start to have
Yes,
a bit
good.
of an implosion, and
You're
now
also
people who
going
are
to
on the
need a
outskirts
new
and
name.
outsiders are able to have
Your
a bit more
skin is
power
fair
maneuver their
enough
way
that
through.
you might
Before
pass
Sharon
for
gets
one
into it, I
with
just want to say really quickly that
Spanish or
I think that
Italian blood.
both of those things happened,
Better
but I
to
don't
he
think that
fought a
one
Spaniard
caused
than
the
a
other.
native.
Like, yes, the Wall Yeller did
And
something
both are
and
better
yelled something
still
into the house,
than I.
threw the match in
That
there.
is not true.
And yes, the house has really combustible energy.
What's true
I personally,
and
and
what
I am a fan.
is
I'm a bit of a fan
aren't
of what
always
happened
the
with the
same.
Wall Yeller. But
What
like,
would you call me then?
I don't think that the Wall Yeller caused this to happen. The
Connor.
Wall Yeller definitely caused Ian
Yes,
with his
that
energy.
will be your name.
But like the things with Danny were already happening,
All
and
right,
it just so
then.
happened that it happened on the
Off you
same
go.
night.
I
Exactly.
agree, but I really think that this was a catalyst. I really do. I think those things were happening and were going to happen. I feel like this accelerated it.
Okay.
So I'm going to very much disagree because I think that we saw exactly what the catalyst was on the episode tonight. It was Danny walking in and saying that to Tyler and Nicole, which had absolutely nothing to do with the Wall Yeller talking about Cody and Nicole. Like this had to do with Danny and Tyler, not anything to do with Cody and Nicole. So this is something that Tyler had been working toward for 2 weeks now. And as I was talking about in the non-spoiler section, that even the night before, Tyler had already talked to Enzo about Danny's next. Like this is already happening. He had already
We'll end the
planned
episode
on
after this, I
approaching
think.
Day and Bay
I'll
about
do
it.
another one.
And so,
But he couldn't because of what David did last week.
Right,
He
but
was going to the
Here's my... Oh, sorry, Tara.
So he had planned on approaching Day and Bay about it last week, and then decided against
I
it.
need the items
and
on
then
this
he
list.
had again decided he was going to approach Day and Bay about it
paying with
before the
coin
Wall Yeller
or
happened.
trade?
And so all that happened is that he approached them while the feeds were down because of the Wall Yeller, which is something he had already planned on
Some of
doing.
these things
They were
I have,
already
some I
anti-Danny.
don't.
They were
Lumber's
already
hard
set
to
up
come by
for
since
this
my
to
supplier
happen.
up in
So
Bashed.
really,
I have the tools and
I
pitch,
think
though.
we can say
Nails,
pretty
too.
definitively that the Wall Yeller had
Where do you want
nothing
this
to do
delivered?
with Danny's
Our wagon is near the
ousting.
State House.
What it did do was set Ian off about like not trusting Nicole and Cody and thinking that those two are running the game.
Here's
Yeah,
two
mine's here.
counterpoints.
Next episode. Continue on. No,
One
thanks for watching.
is I do think